Thank you all for being here. I want to first begin by recognizing the people who are here standing with me. From my left to my right, Ellie Bloom, who is a special assistant for the Attorney General on matters involving consumer affairs and others. Stacy Shesher, who is the Deputy Attorney General, Supervising Deputy Attorney General for Consumer Affairs, who is with us and been very active on this case in particular. Nick Akers, who is the, Nick, sort of get over here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The Senior Assistant Attorney General, who is the lead in our consumer law cases and runs the section, and T.T. Nguyen, who is the actual attorney who was involved in this particular case, and we want to thank her especially for the work that she has done in getting us to this point today. When companies collect personal information, especially our Social Security numbers, those companies have a legal responsibility to secure it and to protect it. When that data is compromised, our data is compromised, it's not just a breach of security, it's a breach of public trust. And when that company is a company that is only one of 3 companies in the nation that is given the authority to collect our personal credit information, it is only one of 3 credit reporting agencies, the implications of a data breach are significant. The nationwide credit bureaus build their reputation and their business on collecting the personal and private information of hundreds of millions of Americans every day, and then they sell that information through their credit reports. These companies have an obligation to protect your and my private information. As consumers, we engage with these companies at almost every major milestone in our lives, whether it's buying that first home, whether it's trying to buy a car, whether it's you're applying for schools and trying to make sure that you can afford to get that student aid, or whether it's the simple task of going about having a credit card. From purchasing all those things to even finding a job, those credit bureaus play an important role because they keep our private information. Customers can't tell these credit reporting agencies, "Don't collect my data." That's why the law requires that these agencies and these companies, these 3 credit bureau reporting companies, collect that information. But if they collect it, they must protect it. In September 2017, Equifax, one of the 3 credit reporting agencies, disclosed to America the largest data breach involving Social Security numbers in America's history. It revealed that personal information of more than 147 million Americans, and some 15 million of those Americans here in California, had been revealed to hackers. The company revealed this breach 4 months after it had begun, leaving consumers in the dark about the exposure of their personal information. As you all know, and you've probably heard this from me repeatedly in the wake of the breach, consumers had to take immediate steps in the wake of this massive data breach to protect themselves from fraudsters and hackers and those who are identity thieves. Equifax failed to protect consumers' information and failed to enact reasonable security measures in violation of California's data security laws. That left very important personal information exposed and allowed hackers to steal consumers' names, their Social Security numbers, their birth dates, their addresses, and in some instances, their driver's license numbers, and even credit-related information. We need to put confidence back into the word confidential. Americans have a right to have confidence that their personal, confidential information will be protected by those who compel us to release it to them. That's why we're holding Equifax accountable today. Today, we are announcing a $600 million total settlement with Equifax that will provide affected consumers with access to up to $425 million in restitution funds. That includes money to cover things like out-of-pocket expenses and payment for time spent dealing with the data breach. Equifax will also provide affected consumers with free credit monitoring for up to 10 years. And in addition to these robust injunctive provisions of relief, Equifax will implement and maintain a critical data security enhancements program to protect data, your data, my data, from future breaches like the one that occurred in 2017. And Equifax will pay $175 million in penalties to the various states. California will receive $18.7 million of that penalty money. We vigorously encourage every person who was impacted by the Equifax data breach to apply for the relief that they are entitled to as part of this settlement. Once the courts approve the breach settlement, affected consumers will be able to file claims and get more information about the settlement from the settlement administrators. You can do this, and here's the information right here on the board in this poster. You can do this by calling the number you see posted here, 1-833-759-2982. Or you can go on this website that you see reported here, www.equifaxbreachsettlement.com. If you want to be notified when that breach settlement website begins accepting claims, you can sign up to receive an alert from the Federal Trade Commission at www.ftc.gov/Equifax. On that settlement website, you will be able to look up whether you are eligible to be part of the class action. You will be able to find out if you can file a claim online, and you'll be able to check the status of your claim. If you are eligible, you will be able to sign up for the free 10 years of credit monitoring that Equifax is providing. Those 10 years include 4 years of 3 bureau credit reporting monitoring. So it won't be just credit monitoring through Equifax, but it'll be creditor monitoring through Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, the 2 other credit reporting bureaus as well. In addition to those 4 years, you'll have 6 years of single bureau credit monitoring through your Equifax report. You'll also be able to request reimbursement for your time and money spent trying to avoid or to recover from identity theft, such as money you paid out to freeze or unfreeze your credit report. So I highly encourage everyone who may have been impacted by this Equifax breach to sign up for the alert and to get the relief you're entitled to. And I will remind every company in America out there that collects your and my private data, you must protect that personal information you collect and which you store. That's the law. We take data privacy seriously, and we need the laws to be protected. As more companies start using biometric data like fingerprints or retina scans or face identification systems, it's crucial that we make sure that data is protected, and that includes your biometric data. Because as arduous as it is, you can still actually change your credit card information. You can change your driver's license number, and you can even change your social security number if you need to deal with identity theft. But you can't change your fingerprints. You can't change your retina. And that information becomes permanent. That's why we are sponsoring here at the California Department of Justice Assembly Bill 1130 by Assembly Member Mark Levine. It is legislation which would strengthen California's data breach notification law by expanding its protections to include biometric information and government-issued identification documents like passports. Those pieces of information need to be protected the same way our social security numbers and our credit card numbers are. Americans are owed their privacy. In California, we take your privacy seriously, and we intend to restore your confidence in the word confidentiality when it comes to your personal private information. And so we're pleased to report this settlement today, and we want to send a message to all those who collect your people's personal data. If you collect it, protect it.